What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Flames back at it again with another video. Today, I'm about to be reading out of Exodus chapter 21. Yesterday we read about the Ten Commandments, chapter 20. I think this chapter is probably going to be on into more laws. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right to it. Now these are the rules that you shall set before them. When you buy a Hebrew slave, he shall serve 6 years, and in the seventh he shall go out free for nothing. If he comes in single, he shall go out single. If he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master gives him a wife, and she bears him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's. Okay, so back in the day, slaves were a thing. And if you go back in history and look at most points in history, they were. It's more probably the least amount of slavery. It's probably now, but now it's like not. It's like not labeled as slavery, but it's just like little kids working in factories for a couple bucks. Pretty much slavery. You know what I'm saying? But there were slaves, back then. It was a lot more normalized, I'd say. But yeah, so this is why it's important to have this because this is these. I don't know when Exodus was written, but it had to have been a very long time ago, obviously, because it was way before Jesus. So obviously things were very different 3,000 to 4,000 years ago. But yeah, um, but if the slave plainly slays, I love my master, my wife, and my children. I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him to God, and he shall bring him to the door or the doorpost. And his master shall bore his ear through with it all, and he shall be his slave forever. Maybe is that like piercing of the ear? Maybe, probably ear piercing. When a man sells his daughter as a slave, she shall not go out as the male slaves do. If she does not please her master, who has designated her for himself, then he shall let her be redeemed. He shall have no right to sell her to a foreign people, since he has broke faith with her. If he designates her for a son, he shall deal with her as a daughter. If he takes another wife to himself, he shall not diminish her food, her clothing, or her marital rights. And he does, and if he does not do these things for her, she shall go off for nothing without a payment of money. So back then, when you had a daughter, you would get what's called a dowry, and basically like your son would basically do what you did for work, but your daughter, like, depending on how beautiful she was and stuff of that sorts, like if your daughter was like stunning, she would go for a lot of money. So that's just how it worked back then. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but that's just how it was. But if a man, wait, hold on, whoever strikes whoever, wait, hold on, he does not do these things for her, she shall go out for nothing without a payment of money. Whoever strikes a man so that he dies shall be put to death. But if he did not lie and wait for him, but God let him fall onto his hand, then I will appoint for you a place to which he may flee. So maybe he's just exiled if it was an accident, found to be an accident, maybe? That's what that means? I'm not really too sure. Um, oh, okay, wait. Oh, this is like basically talking about manslaughter, basically. Essentially, it's pretty much the same thing. Whoever strikes a man so that he dies shall be put to death, but he did not lie and wait for him, but God let him wait fall into his hand, then I will appoint for you a place which you may flee. So manslaughter, you're basically just exiled. But if a man willfully attacks another to kill him by cunning, you shall take him from my altar that he may die. So kill somebody, you're sentenced to death. Whoever strikes his father or mother shall be put to death. So if you hit your mom or your dad, you're sentenced to death. Pretty harsh. Whoever steals a man and sells him, and anyone found in possession of him shall be put to death. Whoever curses his father or mother shall be put to death. Wow, that right there is cool. What? So if you can't even say, if my parent, you can't say that. Like, you're dead. That's crazy. When men quarrel and one strikes the other with a stone, or with his fist, the man does not die, but takes to his bed. Then if the man rises again and walks outdoors with the staff, he who struck shall be clear. He who struck him shall be clear. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time, and shall have him thoroughly healed. When a man strikes a slave, male or female, with a rod, and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be avenged. For the slave is his money. When men strive together and hit a pregnant woman. What? Hold on, I'm busy. Can I talk to you in a few minutes? All right, hold on. I'll be out there in a sec. When a man strikes his slave, male or female, with the rod, and the slave dies under his hand, he shall be avenged. So you beat your slave to death, you're gonna die. This is like old laws, like way before, things changed after Jesus came. But when men strive together and hit a pregnant woman, so that her children come out, but there is no harm, the one who hit her surely shall be fined, as a woman's husband shall impose on him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. But if there is harm, then you shall pay life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. So basically, they just matched, whatever you did to that person, it's happening to you. When a man strikes the eye of a slave, male or female, or destroys it, he shall let the slave go free because of his eye. If he knocks out the tooth of his slave, male or female, he shall let the slave go free because of his tooth. When an ox gores a man or woman to death, the ox shall be stoned, and its flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall not be liable. But if the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, and its owner has been warned but has not kept it in, and it kills a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and its owner shall be put to death. If a ransom is imposed on him, then he shall give for the redemption of his life whatever is imposed on him. If it gores a man's son or daughter, he shall be dealt with according to the same rule. If the ox gores a slave, male or female, the owner shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox be stoned. So basically, you can honestly kind of ox. I guess we've just like we kind of used him for a lot of things back in the day. Obviously, we don't really use those now, but you can kind of like substitute a dog for that for um a good like kind of modern day comparison. Um, Laws about restitution. When a man opens a pit, or when a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit shall make restoration. He shall give money to its owner, and the dead beast shall be his. When one man ox butts another so that it dies, they shall sell the live ox and share its price, and the dead beast they shall also share. Also they shall share. Also they shall share. Or if it is known that the ox has been accustomed to gore in the past, and its owner has not kept it in, he shall repay ox for ox, and the dead beast shall be his. So this is important because this was Moses kind of he was going from God. He went up to God, talked to God, and God's like, "All right, these are what the laws need to be for this nation." And he went back down, and he's basically it's just him laying the law. Like this is how things are supposed to be for that time. So these were the laws of that time for the Hebrew nation. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. That's the end of the chapter. Gonna be reading chapter 22 tomorrow. Appreciate y'all for watching. I love y'all. Thank you for all the support. Peace.